another key aspect is physical risk. A few weeks ago, I was at the Climate Week in New York, and physical risk was really the buzzword. Since the LA fires, I think the financial industry, and in particular in the US, now understood that the full transition is not going to happen, or at least not at the same pace, like you said, and that we need to have tools to assess physical risk. So how would you help investors in that?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Of course, indeed, there's the realization that with rising temperatures, physical risk events will likely increase in frequency, but also in their severity. And hence, it's really important to have tools and data and models that help investors, well, first of all, understand the exposure that they have to these risks, but then also mitigate these risks in the context of their portfolios. And what is so important in the context of physical risk assessments is the asset-specific, so location-specific analysis. So you already mentioned, Grégoire, our geospatial asset intelligence tool, which as of today covers roughly 3.3 million assets mapped to 700,000 both public and private companies. And it really helps our clients understand, if I invest in a company, where are their most critical assets in terms of asset value, but also revenue output, for example, and then use models, physical risk models from MSCI, but also new models coming through the partnership that we've built with Swiss Re to assess these assets' exposure to physical risk, but also what the financial impact of those could be. And you already mentioned it, of course, there's events like the LA wildfires, but also events here in Europe, such as the Valencia floods, or even the floods in Switzerland, where I'm based, where you can really see that these events are happening right now. It's not a problem of the future, but the data and models also help our clients to understand what is current risk exposure. And then, of course, you can apply scenario-based assessments over different time horizons to understand how that risk would potentially increase, decrease going forward for the companies that you're invested in. And the last thing I would like to mention in this context is, I agree there's much more awareness of the challenges that physical risk can bring, but we also see lots more data around resilience and adaptation now being really critical for our clients.